Hey guys, it is Rachel Feldman. So, if you do not know this, yes, I did not build my wellness business going online and depending on social media and digital marketing. I knew from my business experience that it's so essential to build relationships. And one of the biggest problems, one, is that I see so many coaches taking all the different strategies out there, which are amazing, from Instagram strategy to digital marketing to social media, Facebook ads, etc., and depending on them solely. So what I want you to do is actually something different. And I know this works because I did this in my own business, and I also have my one-on-one clients follow this same process. So number one, when you're thinking about building your list, building a referral list, something that I did right away was I made a column of people that already believed in me, knew that I went to school, trusted me, and that was in one column. I encourage you to take that column out as far as you can, and just a few examples of some of the people that were on that column were my own doctor, acupuncturist, the gym that I went to, all of these different places where people already knew me. I call it your cheers bar. These are people who, want to support you, even your own friends. Put on column one a list of the people that you can reach out to that either have offices, chiropractors, juice shops, any different place that you can think who would benefit from your services. Then in column one, on the second part of that, write down your friends and your family. I often hear coaches say, well, my friends and family, they're not necessarily going to be my clients. They're not always, I don't think they're my ideal client. That's absolutely incorrect. If I didn't take the chance to reach out to people that I knew and say, this is what I'm doing and this is what I offer here. You want to test out this freebie? Let's see. I guarantee you, and I know that you will be able to say goodbye to these cravings. I know that you'll be able to get a deep understanding of how gut and stress affect your weight, affect your hair loss, affect, your mood. And I was really clear on the fact that my ideal client was probably sitting in front of my face and I didn't even realize it. So I sent out a really personal email with a video to people and just said, hey, if you know anyone who, is looking for coaching, maybe you don't know what coaching is this. This is an example of like what I do. These are the people that I serve, people with problems, and I listed them. Because what I realized is that it was going to be my referrals and my ability to pitch so that I didn't end up in the place that I was seeing other coaches who were graduating from the Institute for Integrative Nutrition say, I don't have any clients and I've spent so much money on a brand expert, on branding photos, on this whole digital marketing strategy. And yet they hadn't really reached out and just done what I call the easy building of referral. It's not about online or offline. It's about what I call that human connection. So with that list, with that one list, I guarantee that you'll be able to not only get clients, but also build your like, know, and trust factor. We don't just become the expert and the influencer because we put up a challenge, a webinar. We become that influencer and that expert and have people tagging under us, reaching out to us because they have found us on platforms that directly connect with Google. That would be YouTube videos, which I'm going to give you a few little quick instructions on what to do from this download packet that I have. But they find you because they are intentionally searching for that problem. They're searching for stress and autoimmune. They're searching for stress and unexplained weight gain. They're searching for stress and skin issues. We have to step more into the shoes of our client and think back in my problem time. What was I searching for? And what are people just in common conversations talking about these days? So I made sure that I had YouTube videos. They weren't perfect. They didn't have a diva ring light. I didn't do editing. I still really don't, although I have a diva right there. But I kept it very, very simple. I kept thinking, well, screw this blueprint that is out there on XYZ, because that may not apply to just the health and wellness industry. And so what if I just am myself, speak from my experience, and pitch myself to not only people so I can become internationally known and hired, but so that when somebody's searching, they find me. And so by even just starting to practice those videos, I started to get really comfortable with why I was different, what I offer, the promise of working with me. And I started to attract people that I never even thought would become my clients, like some of the kids I went to high school with, or they started referring people, because I didn't ever, and I don't suggest this, using your personal Facebook as a sales page. I see so many, click here, join this. But you want to use that page, especially in the infancy, or if you're struggling to find clients, to build what I call the about me and the why of your personal brand. And so I started to really post like, hey guys, are you struggling with stress? Are you struggling with getting up in the middle of the night and eating sugar? Have you found that all of a sudden you've got belly bloat and you don't feel well? And you just don't know what's going on? This is what my experience was. And I started speaking to people in a way that would be the same way as if I was talking to somebody one-on-one. And that's how I started to attract people on my personal page. Not, again, ever saying, join here, download this. I went with what I call a soft sell approach, which is telling people what it was like, what happened, what I wish I would have known through every period of my hero journey, of our journey that it takes to get healthy, let alone all of those moments that you knew and that you know, looking back into your history, that maybe could have been resolved if you would have known X. And so what I really suggest you do is download the sugar freebie. Then define, what are you different? How are you different? How can you actually take that freebie and not use it as this sales pitch, but reach out to the people in column A, the people who have chiropractor offices, gyms, health food stores, acupuncturists, massage therapists, yoga studios, women's wellness centers, and actually organize that Word document, convert it to a PDF, make sure that it's on one document. If you're worried about how to deliver it, just get it all set up. This one document, this one Dropbox, it has the PDF. Then make 3 videos. One about your experience. Why do you coach? What are you about? And why are you different? And then infuse that into, of course, that message, that pitch to that person. Hey, my name is Rachel Feldman. I struggled with 1 issue, 2 issue, 3 issue, 4, 5. I became a coach because I refuse to let people not know where the information for 1, 2, 3 is. And that's why in my business, I dedicate so much time to teaching people that it really is easy to take care of their body when they take care of their gut, because I truly believe that all disease begins in the gut. Many of my friends, many of my clients, many of my past clients are experiencing the following right now, 1 through 10. This is an example of one of the talks that I could do. I could also give this as an example, plus, some recipes for your clients to see how simple it is to just jumpstart their body in 24 hours or jumpstart their body in 5 days. And that is what done for you content allows you to do. It's to get right into the action steps of those videos, be able to reach out to people, not only to email them and say, hey, I know I had come into your office to get adjusted many years ago. I'm now in the health and wellness industry. This is what I do. This is who I help. my clients have the following issues. I have the following issues. I can come and do this presentation on sugar, stress, adrenal, gut, hormone health. And so that you use this freebie that we give you as the entry point to give you a little confidence, to build a few videos around that, and to start talking about those issues, not only maybe on your personal page, building that like, know, and trust factor, but also reaching out to businesses that have existing lists. Another example is you can reach out to that business and say, that you already know, hey, look, I would love if I could interview you, feature you on my blog. Would you want to do a blog takeover and do some yoga videos? I can bring to the table for your newsletter this, or I can give your newsletter this freebie and they can watch these 3 videos. I guarantee you, when you start taking content like this and making it really simple, and making your approach really simple, it won't feel exhausting to build your business. Because just in 2 places, and you could have exposure to 10 people, 15 people, 100, 200, 1,000 on an email list, I guarantee you that if you say, hey, if this really helped, this, get off sugar, let's get on a one-on-one call. Let's talk about how your health is being affected. And actually, you have to say it to them. We have to market as coaches as if we're marketing really to a 4-year-old. It needs to be crystal clear. We can't just say, sign up for a discovery session, polarize down, get really specific. Sign up for a discovery session because I don't want anybody that I know or that I care about in this world to ever have to get into this place of leaky gut, or get in this place of autoimmune, or get into a place of emotional eating, or get into a place where they're shaming their body because they feel like a failure because they can't say goodbye to the carbs right now or the sugar. Let's hop on a call and try to figure out what is the roadblock in your life and if we're a good fit. And that understanding what your clients want and what to even say and how to develop I call it the non-pitch approach, even though that you are pitching your services, only comes when we actually get our content out there. We actually reach out to places. We put, the big girl panties on and the big boy boxers and say, people don't just find me, I have to go after the opportunity. And that is business 101. And I know that it's really, really hard for a lot of coaches who are heart-based feelers and introverts. And so that's why I suggest taking that one download, shooting 3 videos, pre-recorded, showing them the material, infusing your voice, infusing your story, infusing your why, talking about the problems that you see happening in the world right now, and talking about why we do need a coach to hold us accountable to not only our vision, but to actually take care of ourselves in a world where it's so busy, it's so overwhelming, there's so much misinformation that people are just truly looking for somebody to pull back the BS, to pull back the sales pitch, and to really speak from their heart on what they desire to change in this world. And so I do encourage you to download, make those videos, think about your ideal client, think about what sets you apart and what method you have in your business that sets you apart from everyone else. Because I know when I talk to each one of you are so different. Some of you approach sugars by keto. Some of you approach sugars with hormone balance, with gut, with the mindset. Showcase that in your videos. It's much easier to attract your ideal client and connect with them when they actually can see you, hear from you. And that is how I built my business. I did it by reaching out to people, by taking a chance. The worst is they could say no, by actually walking into, brick and mortar, calling them, but most of all, by sending those videos and showing that I would do something that other people wouldn't. While everyone else was just depending on automation and all these different fancy things, which I couldn't figure out anyway, I thought, well, what makes me want to hire somebody? It's when they take that extra step to really send me a personal video, show me what they want to present instead of just talking about it. So what I'm actually going to show you guys in the next video is how to actually download, break it down, and put it just into a format that makes it really easy for you to grab content, not have to labor over your social media, your digital marketing, what is your YouTube videos, and to really get out of your way, take imperfect action. I think I still do it these days because I just have to say to myself, if I were that person really stuck and feeling broken and feeling overwhelmed, what would I want to search for? And if you go to my YouTube, you will see videos from so many years ago on sugar and candida, gut and sugar cravings, blood sugar imbalances, because I struggled with that forever, hypoglycemia, high sugars, because when the pancreas only can be pushed only so much, there starts to be a little breakdown. And then we usually see an opposite, talking about all the signs and the symptoms that I wish I would have known when I was going through all of this, the problems that I experienced with my children, with having blood sugar imbalances very young, also adrenal issues. I focused more on connecting with people and getting the message out there than focusing on whether it was the perfect promotional image, because I knew that the only way to not make the mistake that I saw everyone else doing was to just go for it and, really share that message and that voice that I needed to share, which is why I became a coach, because I didn't want anybody to go through all that struggle, that pain. And so please, guys, step back out of the marketing, almost unmarket yourself. I know it can get really difficult in building a presence, but I'm telling you, if you just take the content, do videos on the content, reach out to people. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but if somebody already knows you and trusts you, or even your friends, these are people that can start showcasing what you do, especially if you have something for them to opt in. So if you have any questions, guys, tag under here, make your list, download the content, shoot a few videos, and say to yourself, if I were to present this, or I were to do a newsletter takeover or a little class for any of these different, facilities that I just wrote down that already know me, what would I discuss? Well, you're going to discuss and you're going to break down that actual guide, or give them the guide to come in and get really excited, and then do a small little mini masterclass leading to a one-on-one call. That one-on-one call is where you connect. That DM, that personal message, the message that somebody sends you after you've posted something so real and kind of not even from a marketing standpoint, is how you start getting those personal messages where somebody says, you know what, you shared from a place that was just so real and so authentic. It was like you were in my head. When you start to get messages like that, the money starts to flow in. Your work with me starts to fill up, your one-on-one starts to fill up, and then you start seeing that maybe not everyone is right for your one-on-one, and that you create lower cost offers for people because maybe they're not ready. Maybe they were like me, totally freaking jaded by all the tests and the people and the protocols, and just feeling frustration. Our clients are no different. We live in a world of bullshit and band-aids and one-stop solutions. And so we have to let people really understand why we're different. Otherwise, of course, you're just going to bleed into the rest, of coaches saying the same thing. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I'm saying that in a way to really push and empower you to just step out of your freaking comfort zone. Go back and look at my videos that were not the best. And I looked like this. Hi, I'm going to talk today on cranberry juice. But guess what? Those videos got me an invite to teach at Hippocrates Business. Those videos got me clients in Dubai, Japan, China, all over the US, the Bahamas, Mexico, Canada, and Europe, Australia, because people were like, I was searching frantically and I happened to find you, and you are a person I just felt would really understand. And I will close with this. Every one of those people that I formed a relationship with, didn't look at them as a like, didn't look at them, or are they going to buy? Just sat there and always went with the intention and the mindset of crap. It really took like a village for me to find out all the things that I needed to find out. And it was overwhelming and it was stressful. And what if that person wasn't like me? What if that person is sitting there after a diagnosis that I got, like you have fibromyalgia? What if that person was different from me and didn't have a support system and a tribe and didn't have people put in their lives, or the willingness to go into Chinatown and go into a place and just get acupuncture or Chinese herbs? What if that person wasn't relentless? Doesn't mean they're not committed. What if that person is so overwhelmed by the diagnosis, so overwhelmed by everything that they have to research because their life is already so overwhelming? What about that person? And so that's why I really didn't stop. Doesn't mean you have to hustle. It means that you got to get out of your comfort zone, because every relationship that I built, because I took that extra time to create such a VIP experience and took that time to send emails and make phone calls and to introduce myself and to have Skype lunches and all of those things that we often put to the side, because that's a little harder than just going, oh yeah, I'm going to download the Canva template and put that right on, and I'm going to pull this social media post and this content. That's not always what builds that referral network. Every one of those people that I co-collaborated with didn't think about making the money or my time equity. Guess what? They were the ones that had me thriving 365 days a year, even in the downtimes in the online market, which are December, September, the beginning of September, August, the summer, because my pipeline was always full with people who knew I was the real deal, because I did show up and really showcase how different I was from other people. And each one of you are so different. But if you don't take the chance to just disrupt with some different kinds of videos and take a chance to just really be yourself, whether you're more scientific, introverted, geeky, funny, all that, you're not going to attract your ideal client ever. Because your ideal client has already been overloaded with information left and right. The last thing they want is more information, more like, hey, I'm going to teach you exactly what to do in this. They need to actually hear who you are, what experiences you had, what were the things that you were able to resolve, how did you know that there were actually problems coming up, what were the things that you do in your daily life. Do you really walk the talk and talk the talk? Do you really actually do those things? Or is a copywriter just writing for you? And that's why this is so much of a softer, easier approach, instead of doing it the harder way. And I see a lot of coaches get in their way, think that there's this perfect blueprint or this perfect template for their business, or should I have a tripwire? Should I do this? Should I have a membership? Should I have a group? Instead of saying, at that time, what would I have been searching for? Those are your freebies. That's your presentation. Those are your free entry. And thinking the same for your one-on-one page. Do you have people that need to work with you one-on-one? Are they more high intensive, high touch? Or can you also do that work at a lower level in a group, and then upsell to your one-on-one. Somebody's saying thank you. Cindy saying thank you for being so real and authentic and helping us women to learn to connect on a real level. I mean, Cindy, I appreciate that 100%. I wish that there was this really simple do this and do that. One of my copywriters and one of my biz besties, her name is Christine Blueball. I interview her a lot. She's on my podcast. She graduated from IM. We've been friends for a long time. She pitched to me in a real and authentic way, and I hired her right away because I said, how you spoke to me was not salesy. It didn't feel like we were having, this pitch interaction. You really just told me like why you would love to work for me, why you would love to write for me, and your vision of what you see that you can do for my business. She and I were talking the other day, and I always call her and say, what's the disconnect? You teach Instagram. We've got all these people teaching Instagram, how to make a course, how to create your signature method, how to do all of this. And yet we're seeing even more coaches failing right now, and more coaches feeling overwhelmed, getting in their way, all that. And she said, same thing that I am saying. This is the harder work to really know what you stand for and why you're different. And when you can get comfortable and put yourself on a challenge like I did for myself because I was scared of public speaking, a video a day, even if you feel like crap. Showing up consistently because your ideal client is not looking for perfection. The faster that you understand what your ideal client is looking for, how to help them, how to make it easy, how to build trust with them, because trust doesn't just get built because you have an evergreen webinar or a group or a challenge or a program. It gets built because you consistently show up even when it's not so good. You share about how you handled that situation and so on. I don't want to beat a dead horse with this little, live today, but I will tell you that the amount of coaches I'm seeing struggling are far more than I saw years ago. And we had less platforms, less choices, less done for you things like Canva or Capwig or any of these different platforms, because we relied more on having to pitch and develop our signature voice, our brand story, the micro stories that are essential for our ideal client to say, wow, I'm going to hire this person because they were in my shoes, or they really get it and I feel a connection with them. And so when we nail that, because we practice, not because we've bought a done for you template, our done for you content, I know rocks. And at the same time, I also know the struggle because I've done it myself. I've bought done for you stuff and I'm like, how do I implement it? And as soon as I just unfudge my brain of the marketing, the fear of getting hired, the fear of anything, and think, what am I struggling with? And I just show up and be myself. That method, that strategy has never done me wrong. It just is going to take a little extra work of developing that voice. And so I really encourage you to get your butt cooking, download this, make 3 videos, come in and tag me in the group. We're going to be doing that this whole month in my group, like accountability for doing this so that you can list build and you come out strong and hard so that your launch of either your website, your business, your whatever gets off the ground instead of you feeling frustrated. So if you're feeling, feel free to personal message me, DM me, send smoke signals, because I did build my business butt backwards. I wish there was an easy, soft way, but it is that work of not doubting yourself and knowing that you went to either hell and back or you witnessed hell and back or for a reason, and that there's this higher purpose for us to show up, and it goes way beyond the digital platform. Keep it simple, keep it easy. I just gave a coach some advice the other day because he was struggling to build his list. He said, I love Eventbrite. I love that it was so easy, but I found myself having to like download those emails and not keeping up with, not feeling as automated as possible. And I said to him, look, MailerLite is zero money for up to 1,000 people. The only requirement is you need a website that MailerLite can actually go and verify, a full website. You can do everything on that, meaning your opt-in page, your newsletter list, your list building, and make it really simple, or be willing to let go of perfection. Do the Eventbrite like I did. I couldn't figure out how to connect MailChimp. I would download that Excel spreadsheet. I would do the copy and paste feature on MailChimp, and I would get that out there. And it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be perfect. And I think the faster that we let go of this perfect business building, the faster that we will actually really connect with our ideal client and change the freaking world. So guys, with that, peace out. It's going to be imperfect action. And just be okay with getting uncomfortable. Be okay with being uncomfortable. But know this, there is a person for you. There's enough people in this world that are suffering spiritually, physically, emotionally. They feel stuck. They don't even know who to turn to. And they are waiting for somebody to just break it down really easy, digestible information, simple action steps, and for them to really hear how you approach the problems that you deal with in your business versus here, come to this one thing and it's going to be XYZ. It's like, just show up and start really sharing about your own life, your own, how you overcome that, your clients. And I guarantee you it will 100% work. Not saying it's easy, but we are going to do a mock presentation on these next series. So please come into our Facebook group. Make sure that you want to get on the accountability, oh my God, scary chair, that I promise you, it will work. It will work. Your method will work. And with that being said, I'm going to see you guys later. And in full transparency, guys, I'm tired. I'm stressed a little right now. Even though I have my whole business automated, there isn't one human being in this world who doesn't feel stressed at some level. And so the faster that we all just say, screw it, screw it. Let me show up and actually talk about what's happening in the world, and talking about how it affects us, how stress affects us in so many levels. I have this weird, strange feeling that people will say, oh my God, you felt like crap too. Oh my God, my digestive issue. Oh my God, you overate that. You know what? People just want us to be really real. And that is one thing that I did and that I still do. And that's how I attract my ideal clients. So with that being said, guys, have a beautiful one. I think it's Tuesday. And if you have any questions about what we do, just go to rachelafeldman.com. You can go to the podcast. You can go to the free tool page. I even have a 60K, 85K, and 100K blueprint on our profitable business course. We have so much for you guys. But like I said, right now, I'm just going to give you this extra little, see, you can do it. And so come into our group and we'll have a lot of fun this month. I will see you guys later.